All right, the session is recording. Welcome everyone to UMI Career Development Workshop. We have a very special presenter today, Carl Brunswick. He will tell you a little bit more about his background, but all I wanted to say, Carl is my former colleague. We worked together for a very large career education corporation, a very large school with um, up to 30 campuses nationwide. Carl, at that company, Carl was the regional director of career services. Now he's moved on to other interesting things. Carl has years and years of experience in career development and career coaching. He worked for many years and very effectively with students and graduates from career schools similar to UMI, and he's been extremely successful in assisting those students with securing their first entry-level job, preparing them for interviews and all different aspects of career of job hunt. So I asked Carl to come and speak to us today, and today is an exciting topic. He will talk about specifically using LinkedIn, how to LinkedIn, right? He will talk about LinkedIn and how to use it effectively for on sort of discovering some hidden jobs opportunities, but also networking and how to use it really for creating your own profile and for using your LinkedIn profile and LinkedIn network to really discover those hidden job opportunities to move in your career. And Carl, I wanted to mention that for all UMI students, I always encourage them, and we provide a lot of resources for that, to start building their career portfolio and to start preparing for that career development and job search early on, from the first minute they entered the program. So not to wait until they actually graduate. And today is a good example. As I mentioned, we have students who have not even started the program yet. On Monday, they will. And we have wonderful students from many different backgrounds. Some like Dr. Saba, he's actually a medical doctor from, I believe, Afghanistan. So he's entering our program to get trained on diagnostic sonography. And we have other students who have different background, work experience. Some have bachelor's degrees, some have training in some other fields. So they're entering sonography career. And I think today's workshop is going to be extremely instrumental and helpful for you. So Carl, welcome. And please, I'm going to turn it over to you. If you can just say a few words about your
Absolutely.
background and
Absolutely.
what we should expect today. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
You're welcome. Thank you guys so much. Ina, that was so nice of you. I love working with Ina. She's one of my favorite people on the planet. But yes, my name is Carl Brunswick. I have been working in career services and career coaching for almost 20 years now. I mean, time is flying by. I started off as an advisor at the Art Institute and then progressed my career through working with Ina as a regional director. And now I've transitioned into the state colleges, and I'm now the associate director of the Broward campuses for Florida Atlantic University. You can see our little owls back there. So it's a different game, but it's the same. Career coaching is career coaching, and that's my passion. I love talking to students, from fresh out of college. I'm sorry, fresh out of high school to getting their MBA, about what you can do to increase your professional image, what you can do to increase your employability skills, because we are all unique beings that have that unique thing about us that employers want to hire. But it's up to you to be able to sell yourself. And that's what I can help you do. So today we're going to discuss LinkedIn and the power of LinkedIn. And I'm a big proponent. When Ina asked me to present on this, I was super excited because I've actually gotten several jobs through just LinkedIn and networking that were not even posted at the time. So let's talk about LinkedIn. All right, here we go. Okay, you guys can see my screen? All right, so LinkedIn for the job seeker. How can LinkedIn help you? First, LinkedIn can help you establish a professional profile and control the top Google search result for your name. When you create your LinkedIn profile and you go in and type your search your name in Google, it will be the first thing that pops up because LinkedIn has now had an algorithm that connects with Google. So when you can do a search for your name, LinkedIn will pop up. You can build and maintain your professional network. You can find and connect with professional colleagues. You can learn about companies and their company culture. And you can discover new career opportunities by searching for jobs on LinkedIn. So, Ian, I believe you have a poll. Let's ask our group here, how many have a LinkedIn profile? So, Ian, launch that poll, please.
Yes, yes, sir. Give me 1 second and I am relaunching. All right.
So, how many of you guys have a LinkedIn profile? Okay, we're waiting on 2 more people to answer. Waiting on 1 more person to answer.
I think we're covered.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to end the poll and I'm going to share the result.
All right.
Carl, can you see the result?
Only 25, only 1 out of the 3 of you have a LinkedIn profile. Wow, so this is going to be a game changer for you all. So, and the one person that does have a LinkedIn profile, maybe you can find other things for you to do with LinkedIn through this. Okay, so LinkedIn can help you build and enhance your professional brand. By creating your LinkedIn profile, LinkedIn will place you at the top of your name Google search to enhance your professional brand. If you look, I Googled myself as an example, and you see at the very top search result is Carl L. Brunswick, M.B.A., Miami Beach, Florida, from LinkedIn. Isn't that great? And the next 2 are also from LinkedIn, when I was the assistant director at ATI and when I was also a director at City College, all on LinkedIn. The LinkedIn basics. LinkedIn is not your resume. It's a snapshot of your professional brand. So remember, it's not your resume. This is going to show employers as well as other professionals in your industry who you are as a professional. Make your summary enticing. What makes you and your skills unique? If you're stuck, ask your coworkers or supervisor what dynamic strengths that you have. Ask them what they think of you. Ask them to say, what about me are my top qualities? That can help you build your profile and your summary. And how would they describe you? Be descriptive. This is your chance to brag about yourself, guys. You can highlight your wins and you can highlight your accomplishments. When we go to my page, I'll show you exactly how I've highlighted some of the accomplishments that I've done in my career. You also, like, how would the recruiter want to hire you? How would they know you're a good fit? Sell yourself on your LinkedIn profile. Once you have your LinkedIn profile to the place where you want it to be, and highlight that on your resume as well. So when you're submitting your resume for an opportunity or a job, you can also highlight that so people can go to your LinkedIn page and see who you are as a dynamic, unique professional. And when it comes to LinkedIn, size does matter. You want to always continue to build on your network. You never get done with LinkedIn. You never want to stop building on your network. The next person that you connect with or engage with on LinkedIn could be the next person that can help you open the door to your next professional opportunity. The size of your network is important, but it's not nearly as important as having the right type of contacts in your network. You want to connect with your contacts on a regular basis. Just do a quick check-in. How are you doing during this COVID period? How are things happening with your company? How are you doing within your industry? And how do you engage with your network? Do you engage with them through groups? Do you engage with them once a week, once a month, once a year? But you always want to continue to connect with your network. Here's an example of a 100% complete profile view. This is my LinkedIn page. If you can see at the top, you see my name, my educational status, which is an MBA. You have my about section where I talk about my experience within the career, my career. You see some featured articles that I've done as well. And on the experience section, you see where I'm currently working, where I previously worked, If you look at my Florida Career College experience, where I was there for 8 years and 6 months, you see that I go into detail about the accomplishments that I made. My placement numbers, how I was promoted to regionally managed, thanks to Ina, 7 South Florida campuses. Thank you, Ina, for that promotion. And you actually see a picture where I highlight my awards. You know, you have the opportunity to really sell yourself here. Then you want to go beyond that. In your next section, you have the recommendation section. You can see that I received 12 recommendations, and I gave out 14 recommendations. Get your recommendations from people that supervise you and that you supervise and that you work side by side. You want to have all-encompassing people give them out recommendations. This is one of my former supervisors, Kimberly Stone. She actually stated, I watched Carl progress through his career from a career service advisor to his current position. He invests time and resources into his team and allows them to grow. One of the greatest accomplishments of a leader is to produce other leaders, and Carl has accomplished that. Now, see, the good thing about LinkedIn is you allow people to sell you for yourself. They're doing the work for you. Kyle was one of my employees. He stated, more than a superstar, but an actual game changer in the sector of career services education. Since working under Mr. Brunswick back in 2012, the expectation has been set, and since then, he was always managed to set the bar higher. You see, they are talking for me, and all you have to do, you can actually go, when you go into an interview and drop off your resume, you can print out your recommendations and leave them there, and they do the talking for you. I created an accomplishment section where I go into all the different awards and all the different things that I've accomplished in my career. Pinnacle Leadership Recipient, Top Performer, Regional Trophy Award again, the IEC Leadership Conference, Most Valuable Team Player. LinkedIn can sell yourself for you. You want to add connections with warm contacts and alumni. You are creating your network right now, whether you believe it or not. These 5 people that you are sharing on the screen with, your classmates, they're part of your network. They're actually become part of your professional network. Your network can be your family, your friends, your professors, and your advisors. Also your classmates. You guys are all starting this career in stenography at the same time. The person that's next to you in the class could next be your supervisor during 5 years down the line. You never know. Continue to build that bridge and that professional network. First, second, third home plate. A first degree connection are people you're directly connected to because you've accepted their invitation to connect, and they've accepted your invitation. You'll see first degree icon next to their name in the search results. You can contact them through sending them a message. A second degree connection are people you're connected to. Your first degree connection, they're connected to people that you already know, but you have not met them yet. You'll see a second degree icon next to their name in search results and on their profile. You can send them an invitation by clicking the connect button on their profile page or by contacting them through email. And a third degree connection are people you're connected to your second degree connection, and you'll see a third degree icon next to their name. You may not be able to connect with them directly by sending a message, but you can click the connect button and then they will accept you. And also people that are in your network are fellow members of any LinkedIn group that you belong to. People who are considered part of your network because they're members of the same group. An example of a first degree connection message. Hi, Aja, I really enjoy your work on HubSpot sales blog, especially your recent piece on lead generation. I love to connect on LinkedIn. You've already kind of met with them, you've seen them somewhere down the line, you've worked at the same company before. That is a first degree connection for you. An example of a second degree connection, now remember, these are people that are connected to your first degree connection. They're not connected to you yet, but they're connected to someone that you know. So a message that you may want to send is, hi, my name is, and you tell them who you are. I saw your work at this. I love to chat with you on the phone or for coffee. And I also see you're connected with Joel Marino. He is my current editor. And that way you're kind of telling them how you know that person. So therefore, that person can actually refer back to them and say, hey, Joel, I got this message from Drake. Do you know this person? And then they'll say, yes, I do. He's a good person to be involved with. And then that connection will happen for you. And a third degree connection, that you know them through a second degree, so you may not be able to use them as a reference. So you just want to go to their network and just hit connect. And they may accept you or they may not. Ina, are you prepared for that second poll? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Let's launch it.
Okay, you want to read the question?
Absolutely. Have you set up your LinkedIn job alert? If you guys are using LinkedIn, have you set up your LinkedIn job alert?
Hold on. No, 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 no. That's not what I wanted to do. Give me a second.
Are you?
All right, there we go.
Oh no, that's the question for number one. You gotta go back to the next question.
Right, right. I'm doing it right now.
There we go. Have you set up your LinkedIn job alert if you have a LinkedIn account?
So if we only have one person on
Yep,
LinkedIn.
that person is answered, and the answer is no. Okay. All right, so let's talk about that.
There we go.
Okay. So when you're looking for the hidden job market, you want to follow companies and individuals and become members of groups. And I will say, I am so very I'm very interested in this part because I will tell you, this part is the most important part about LinkedIn. I was, when I left Florida Career College, I was in between working. That happens to a lot of us. But because when you're working, the time to start building your network is not when you are without a job or when you're looking for a job. The time to build your network is now, while you're in school or while you're working. That is the time you want to build your network because one, the pressure's not on you so much. And two, you don't seem desperate and inauthentic. When you are networking now as a working professional or as a person that's in school or looking to go into a new career, it's a more convenient way of asking someone to open the door for you. I will say within a month of me leaving Florida Career College, I was hired in another director role in less than 3 weeks for a job that was not even posted. I had built my network already because I was always looking for members to join my team. I reached out to anyone that had a career services in their background. And so then when I was looking for a job, I just re-engaged that same network. And a young lady emailed me and said, my boss is going to be quitting in about 2 weeks and they haven't posted the position and you'd be great for this role. And here's the executive director's name and her email. You should contact her. I contacted her and she said, the position not even posted yet, but I've heard about you. So please come in tomorrow and we would like to interview you. And then I went in that next day and I was offered the position on that Friday. I started I started a week later and Ina sent me a message and said, that was quick. I was like, you know what? I don't have time to not be working. So you want to explore the hidden job market and follow companies and individuals and become members of groups. So why do you want to follow an individual? You can receive notifications about their network updates. You can build a conversational profile about their potential connection. And you can connect with them if they work at a company you wish to work for. That is huge. That's huge. And why should you follow a company? If you follow a company, you'll get notified immediately of new jobs that they come into the market. You'll get notified of recent hires and promotions. And what you want to do when people get hired and promoted, you want to send a message that says, congratulations on your new promotion. And they'll say, thank you, have we met? You'll say, no, but I see you work for an amazing company. I would love to talk to you about that company. Would you be able to meet with me virtually to discuss the company? And you see, that is how you build your network. And why should you join a LinkedIn group? A LinkedIn group provides you with the ability to forge new business relationships with like-minded professionals. You can participate in professional discussions. It will increase your knowledge about your industry. And LinkedIn groups help expand your LinkedIn network, because as soon as you become a member of that group, those people that are all members in that group become part of your network. That's huge. Here's the example of following a company. Following companies by going to a company profile page search or clicking on a person's profile where a company name displays. And I'll show you guys, I will walk you guys through my LinkedIn page so you can see how you can actually do this. So see, this person wanted to follow MMG Worldwide. You go and search for the company and then you follow it. And then you'll find who the connections are that are connected to you. And you'll see all the employees within that company. And you can actually reach out to those employees and say, hey, I would love to connect with you. I am a sonography student. I would love to talk about what the industry is like. And you'll see employees that are on LinkedIn that you can connect to as well. You can choose how often you receive updates and what types of updates you receive. You can receive updates on employees who join, leave, or are promoted, on new job opportunities, and company profile updates. And the good thing is when you're receiving those updates about a company that you're interested in going to, when you go into that interview, you can talk about the highlights of that company. You can talk intelligently about why you want to join that company because of some of their wins in the industry. When I am interviewing people and people come in and the great thing about LinkedIn is if you're interviewing for a position as well, you can research an individual. And what blows my mind is when you can come into an interview and you say, you know, Carl, I saw that you worked at this particular company, or you went to Florida State University, and I'm a Seminole as well. And you know, when they make those connections, that helps open the door for you. When I interviewed for this position here at Florida Atlantic University, you better believe that I knew everyone that was going to interview me. So I went onto LinkedIn and I Googled each person, and 2 people out of the 7 that were interviewing me for that second interview were Florida State Seminoles, and I was a Florida State Seminole as well. So I walked into that interview, I was like, oh, I know that you're a Seminole, and you're a Seminole. I'm also Florida State Seminole. Come to find out, my boss, her sorority was right next to my fraternity, and we're there 2 years apart. So that was all built through LinkedIn. You can also see other companies people looked at to get a sense of similar companies to check out yourself. So if you find a company that you're interested in, you'll see what other companies are like that company, so you can engage those companies as well. So you can look for opportunities within those companies and people that connect within those companies. And you can also explore job opportunities and internships. So I'm gonna show you guys how to do this also. So you can go on LinkedIn, you can see jobs that, you know, for example, I did all the career counseling type jobs, and you can actually search those jobs and apply to them through LinkedIn by just clicking the button apply, because it will take all the information from your LinkedIn profile, compile it into almost a pseudo resume, and send that off to the company. Great way to connect and stay connected. And in conclusion, the key tips to use LinkedIn effectively are: you want to complete your profile 100%. You want to contact and connect people on a regular basis. Start communicating with your network. Don't ever let your network go stale. Always communicate with your network and keep it engaged. You want to give and receive recommendations and endorsements. Very, very important. Ask a former supervisor to recommend you. Ask an employee that worked with you to recommend you. Have people talking about you, because it entices people that when they hear it from other people's words about how great you are as a potential employee. Use LinkedIn groups and stay connected with them. Produce engaging content. I'm always talking about the great things that are going on here at FAU on my page, and things, especially things that I am promoting myself. You want to make people see that you promoting engaging content. Find new opportunities, whether they're job opportunities or opportunities with another company that you may want to engage with. Boost your organization profile, and always, always, always observe professional etiquette. LinkedIn is not Instagram, and LinkedIn is not Facebook. No typos, no, no typos, no LOLs. Always make it professional. The way you will write a professional email is the way you want to talk on LinkedIn. I cannot express that enough. Keep it professional. And for UMI resources, you can join the UMI Career Development Portal by clicking here or subscribing. There's a link right there. You can copy that link. So thank you guys very much. Let me first walk you through, first we'll see if there are any questions. Are there any questions?
Carl, yeah, before you move and before we go to the questions, I just wanted to mention that everything everything Carl mentioned in terms of things that you're going to start working on, and he will walk you through, you know, the live LinkedIn page. But I wanted to mention, when Carl talks about you build your network, you start specifically for your sonography career. You start with building your network with your classmates, with everybody who's ever attended United Medical Institute. You will find them on LinkedIn, with alumni, with me. I have 10,000 connections on LinkedIn. A majority of them are in, obviously, healthcare and sonography field. So through me, you will have a second-degree connection with many professionals, directors of imaging departments, physicians, and all of that. So you really want to be connected with me. And believe me, I'm not going to be picky. I will accept all your invites. Don't worry about that. So UMI is going to be your sort of first circle and first thing that you want to really start use to build your network. When it comes to the content, Carl was talking about the content, what you put there, what you want to sort of highlight. Those of you who are using Facebook or Instagram, the principle is the same. The content is different, right? So what you want to upload into your LinkedIn profile and share on with your network and with everybody else possibly, things like a project that you completed for one of the classes, an awesome image that you may have taken during your clinical or during your lab. You may want to share any pictures when you are in the lab, or when you are, with your classmates, when you are doing something related to sonography, or, any accomplishments. We typically run competitions such as sonography. We have pinning ceremony, all of this. It doesn't have to be related to school necessarily. I'm not asking you to promote the school, but obviously things that you are engaged in the school, this is what you want to really highlight, things that you can brag about. And about your recommendations, a lot of students and graduates, of course, UMI will ask their teachers to give you letters of recommendation. When you complete your clinical, especially clinical 3, you'll be asking your clinical supervisor to write a letter of recommendation. They are typically aware of it because we communicate with them that this is what we would ask them to do. But, from me and even from some of your faculty, we can give you that recommendation on LinkedIn, like what Carl showed you. If you request recommendation through LinkedIn from me, I'll put it up there. You will have an option to accept it, to post it, or not to post it, but I will definitely do it right there on LinkedIn. It will become sort of a permanent part of your career development portfolio. So, and Carl will walk you through some that career development. Most of you are subscribed to that. This is the place where we have step-by-step tutorials and information on how to launch your LinkedIn profile. Everything is there. A lot of templates for the resume, a lot of tutorial for how to build your LinkedIn profile, how to do your about page, how to connect with LinkedIn network. Everything is there. I'm not asking you to go and study it from A to Z, in 1 hour, but throughout your program, continuously go back, take a look at it. And this is where we typically post any job announcements that would be of interest specifically for our graduates, for our alumni. So this is the place where we created that place to centralize all career development related resources for you. In that place, you will also have your own folder where you can start building your portfolio. You can drop your resume there. You can drop all your certificates there. You will be getting a certificate of participation for this workshop also. You can drop those awesome images. You can put whatever you want in that portal and it will stay there. You will be able to access it at any time, as long as that career development portal exists. So this is what I wanted to mention. And now Carl, walk us through a live page.
And before we continue, are there any questions about what we've gone through and seen so far? Are there any questions? What do you guys think about what you've seen? What do you guys feel about, who has a LinkedIn profile out of the 4 of you? Who has the LinkedIn profile? You can unmute yourselves.
I have one question, please.
Go ahead.
My name is Tabah Abu Hamid. First of all, thank you for all the information. This is the first time I know about the LinkedIn. I heard about, and I received invitation from friends, but usually I neglect them because I have no idea about this application. My question is the information, the personal information, it's public for other, or it is only for the contacts?
Some pages are closed, but the majority of your information is for your contacts. If you're not connected to me, you won't be able to see my page.
Second question, if, for example, any clinic or hospital need, for example, an ultrasound technician, can they search through the LinkedIn to choose one, or it's difficult to do that?
I'm sorry, repeat the question. Is it?
If one clinic or hospital, they need ultrasound technician, so can they search through the LinkedIn to choose one from this application, or they can't?
If a hospital is looking for a sonographer, is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, if a hospital is looking for, they won't go and search LinkedIn that way. What they'll do is they'll post their job there and they'll have you apply for it. Now, personally, I know recruiters, and I have done this myself. If I'm looking for something, if I'm not getting the traction to a job posting that I thought I would get, I would go on LinkedIn as a hiring person and type in sonographer, the word sonographer. Now, from that, all the people with sonographer in their resume or in their experience, all those people with sonographer in their experience section, those names will come up. Then from that, I'll be able to look and see if I'll connect with them, and I'll be able to look and see if they have the experience that I'm requiring. And then I'll send them a direct message and say, hey, I'm looking to hire someone with your experience. Would you be interested in working with my company? And so please send your resume to my email. I've done that several times looking for career services professionals.
Thank you. Thank you.
Carl, thank you. This is a great question, and I wanted to kind of follow up on that, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Dr. Saba, so what Carl says is absolutely, of course, accurate. I also wanted to emphasize, when you start building your profile, this is why it's so extremely important to use the right words when you describe your about section, when you put the title next to you, the material, the information that you present in your duties, and so on and so forth. Because if Carl is looking maybe for career services professional, I always look for sonography instructors, or sometimes I look for some other things. When I type, what I type is what I'm looking for. And if a person who may have hundreds of years of experience in that particular field is not listing the right words, the keywords that I'm putting in LinkedIn when I look, or even in Google, because LinkedIn will pop up even if I search those keywords in Google, people with that background and those keywords will pop up from LinkedIn. That's why you need to be very precise and very to the point on the words that you use to describe yourself. So if you are in sonography, you want to use the keywords ultrasound technician, ultrasound technologist, sonography, diagnostic medical sonography. So all of those things, when you describe what you do or what you've accomplished, you want to use the words sonographic imaging and so on and so forth. Later on, when you are closer to graduation or closer to getting your credentialing with AirDMS, the first thing you will do when you receive that credential, when you pass that exam, you're going to put RDMS at your name. So, RDMS or credentialing or any of that. In fact, most of you, all of you will have an opportunity to take SPI exam with RDMS while you are still in school, shortly after you complete your physics exam. If you decide to pursue that, and which we recommend very, very strongly while you are still in school, when you receive your SPI certificate, you're going to upload it there, and you're going to put it either in your about page or right next to your name to say SPI certificate or SPI certified or whatever proper names is. So keep in mind, everything needs to be searchable nowadays. So when recruiters are looking, when small clinic owners or physicians are looking, they're using those words. And so you need to be precise. And don't try to use beautiful words, or don't try to sound
Get
very
right to the
smart.
point. Get right to
Right.
the point.
Right. Don't try to use big words or show how wonderful your vocabulary is. That's not the point. Use the precise words that describe and people commonly use when they use for people in that professional field. Great
Absolutely.
question.
Absolutely. Any other questions, guys, before I go through the live demo? How are you guys feeling about LinkedIn so far? Is everybody going to go get a profile after this?
Yeah.
Good. All right, I'm going to show you my page and show you how my page is built. And I'm also going to show you how you can search for sonography groups and things like that, okay? Okay, here we go. Okay, can you all see my page? Okay, so as you see, you will always want to have a professional picture, always. And then you scroll down, as you see, Aina mentioned that you always want to have those keywords. For me, career services and education, and that is the words that I highlight first and foremost. So if you see my about section, the first thing you see is proven career services professional with 20 years results-driven experience. Career services is right there. And then I also go into, you know, where I worked as an assistant director, as associate director, where I worked in marketing and advertising as well. Now, here are some featured articles that I had where I'm featuring my professional opportunities and things that I've done. And these were like actual like postings I put on my page. And then you can scroll down and then you'll see your experience section. Now, I've only worked here for 1 year and 3 months. I should update this. I have not yet updated that, but you can see a section where I have gone into full detail when I was the director of career services at Florida Career College, where I was there for 8 years and 6 months. Now, if you notice, I'm putting in I'm not just putting in the job duties. I'm leading with my accomplishments and my successes and my wins. And this is how you want to sell yourself here. If you notice, you can also put pictures. There's pictures of my awards, my previous work, my education, my volunteer experience, skills and endorsements. People have endorsed me for leadership, career counseling, and management, as well as these other areas that they've endorsed me. And this is the section I really want to show you guys, my recommendations. If you notice, my recommendation, you can leave and live on recommendations. If you notice, I have recommendations from supervisors, employees, co-workers, people that I have been there when I'm a career person, getting people hired with them. They've used my services. So if you notice, I have lived on my recommendations, and these you can actually print out and actually deliver in an interview with your resume. Yes, go ahead, Lena.
Yeah, while you're on this page, I see that you don't have recommendation from me. So let's demonstrate how to request recommendation. Go ahead, ask for my recommendation.
Okay, so let me go back. So here's my recommendation section. Ask for a recommendation. Who do you want to ask? Dr. Ina Lisker. Select relationship. Ina, manage me directly. Position at the time. Director of Career Services at Florida Career College. Next. Dr. Ina, could you write me a recommendation? That's it. Send. Just that easy.
Perfect. So when I go to my LinkedIn, I will see Carl's request, and then I will have an opportunity to write a glorious recommendation for him, and then I will submit, and then Carl will have he will be able to review it and decide whether or not he wants to post it on his page.
Absolutely. Here are my accomplishments. You definitely want to put out everything that you felt that you were accomplished. And here are my interests. And I want to show you all actually how you can look for groups that will interest you. So let's hit the word sonography. So if you notice, you have sonographer in jobs, sonographer in people, sonographer in groups. So let's look at groups first. Here are all the groups that can help you as far as going in and networking within your new career. Global sonographer, UK sonographer, sonographers in Melbourne, Australia, sonographers news, jobs, advice. There are 27 members in that. And I would say, if you're going to start groups, start small and start connecting with people that way, because you don't want to be so overwhelmed with a group is so large that you can't get the information that you want to get. So if you notice, some groups can go all the way up to 3,000, some groups have 38, 27. Start with a smaller group first and say, you know what, I'm just starting this field. This could be really good. Sonographer news, jobs, and advice, because you guys are just starting the industry. Diagnostic imaging jobs worldwide, ultrasound echocardiography accreditation, 3 pages worth of groups that you guys could participate in. So I definitely say, look for groups. Now let's look at sonographer and people. Now, you see here people that they have it listed as a title in their LinkedIn. Registered cardiac sonographer, here's a sonographer, medical sonographer, and doctor in medicine. So therefore, if you say you want to connect with someone, let's see, this Gary G, apparently he is connected to one of my first connections. So if I go to his page, I can see that he's connected to Nikki Sear. She's my first 3 connection. So I can send Gary a message and say, well, see, he has it where I can't send him a message. You won't be able to connect with everybody, but if I can't connect, send him a message.
Try to click connect.
Yeah, I can connect with them. And so I can add a personal note that says, hi, Gary, would you please add me to your network? I am a first degree connection with Nikki Sear. Thank you. And send the invitation. Simple as that. But you see, this is how, if I was searching for someone to hire, I could go through here and say, you know what, I need a sonographer. Or if you guys are looking for a mentor, or if you see someone that works in a hospital that you want to work in, connect with them and say, I'm a sonographer student. I would love to talk to you about what it's like to be a sonographer. And maybe you could give me some tips and what is it like to work in the company that you work with. This is how you grow your professional network.
Carl, before you move, I wanted to mention, if you can demonstrate that, guys, when you look for people, like Carl is looking now, sonographers and people, or you can also use ultrasound technologies, and you can also limit your search by location, or even by the companies. If I were you, I would not be limiting it too much, because a lot of people in Australia may be connected with people in Sacramento. So just do as wide search or as wide connection as you possibly can. When I first started connecting with sonographers, I would just spend, Yulia Tello is actually our professor.
Wow.
It was on the previous page.
What I did was I did location and I did California.
Yeah.
And I did Hawaii, and there you go.
So Yulia Tello is one of the people that you absolutely want to connect to all our faculty.
One mutual connection, Dr. Ina Lisker.
There we go. So what I wanted to mention, connect to, when I first started developing my network specifically in sonography, I would spend almost every day, just 15 minutes, click connect from the list that pops up under sonography, depending on your, whether it's a basic free account that you decide to go with, or the premium. You may be limited with how many people you can connect a month, but still, regardless, just go. This is a little bit of a work, but it will also help you. It will also help you to get used to using this LinkedIn just as a absolutely common and very effective tool. All right.
And,
so here's you.
Very interesting. When I was looking at career professionals, when I was starting my search for work, I connected with this young lady named Christina Lopez, and she and I were, we connected. We were both talking about the industry and how tough the industry is and getting into career services. And then they interviewed 108 people for my position, and it came down to 2, and it was me and Christina. We didn't know it. And I had met her on LinkedIn, and we had started developing a relationship. And now we're best buddies. And we both got another position opened up at Florida Atlantic, and we both became friends all through LinkedIn. Now I will show you again, stenographer. Now let's look at stenographer in jobs. So you click the jobs for stenographer and look at the different jobs that they have for stenographer. You can just, they have easy apply where it just takes your information from LinkedIn and submits it to the employer. But you'll see.
Carl, show us how to set up the alert. You see that little button at the top?
Yes.
No, not here. Not here. Go down. No, to the left. Here. Yeah. So you can turn on that alert and it will come directly to your email or whichever way you set up. And you also have an opportunity to specify, filter which jobs you will be looking for. You may be looking for obviously, entry-level position at the beginning within certain location and so on and so forth. But even if you let it be a little broader, remember the jobs may be also just a door to get to know the company or possibly even people, and vice versa. When you connect with people, you also have an opportunity to research the company and to see specifically their job postings. And of course, it goes for internship, clinical opportunities, job shadowing, and sort of mock interviews or informational interviews with people.
And the great thing is they will tell you if your profile matches the job. And it's interesting because my profile does have a lot of ultrasound sonography because I did promote and get people hired in that. So that's why they're saying that I connected to some of these jobs. But you'll see where it says your profile matches. It'll tell you how many applicants have already applied. So you already kind of know what your chances are. So the good thing is you just search and set your alerts, and you can look at where your profile matches. So LinkedIn is your friend. How was that? Any thumbs up? Did you guys enjoy that workshop? You can unmute. You can unmute. It's a small group of us. You can unmute. Did you guys enjoy that?
I enjoyed it. I have one, but it's really old.
Okay.
With just like my restaurant experience.
Yeah.
So, but I'm seeing now how important it is, and I'm excited to get
but
it
you know
started.
what? The good thing is you have one, and now you can start building upon it. Because right now you're in school, and so your projects, your work that you're doing, what you're doing right now in the clinic,
amazing.
That can go onto your LinkedIn. That can go onto your resume because experience is not just a full-time or part-time job. Experience can be volunteer, military, a job shadow, anything like that. That is experience. So even if you go and job shadow someone for a good week or a month, and you do a project or you write a paper on it, that is experience you now put onto your resume and say, you know what, this experience that I've gained, now let me put that on LinkedIn and let me start building my profile. Let me start connecting to my groups and start connecting to professionals. And you can talk to, the one thing I will say about successful people is this. Successful people all have this thing in common. They love to talk about how they got there. Successful people, if I have a person that's just on their career in career services, and that's why I was so good at hiring people that had no experience and want to talk to me about how I can get there and getting people promoted, because I love talking about how I was successful in my career. Regardless if your success is, you make $1 million or you make $75,000. If you feel successful in your career, you love to talk that to other people. So you can go on LinkedIn, you can find someone that has been in your shoes, and they would love to talk to you about the next step after you graduate, how you can pass the ARDMS, how you get into a hospital, how you successfully prepare for a hospital interview. That's why you want to start building your network now.
I also wanted to mention, guys, that The connecting with people on LinkedIn does not mean that you will find a lot of directors of imaging departments. You will find a lot of physicians. You will find a lot of managers of the clinics. When you connect with them, I think it goes back to Carl's point. Don't, you need to do it right now when you are not desperate. And the point is, connecting with those people does not mean that the first message you will send to them, you will ask for something, right? You can compliment them, or you can say, you are doing this to ask for their advice. And then you need to build that relationship. And even if people are not able to accommodate you for informational interview or for even job referral, you keep the door open. Ask them, do they know anybody who may be looking for a clinical external, or who may be open to hiring a recent graduate who needs maybe 12 months experience of work experience. So just keep talking to people, right? Keep talking to people professionally. So you will have a lot of opportunity to connect. But going back to Joanne's, and I don't know how many times I always emphasize this, LinkedIn is a living portfolio. It's not your resume, like Carl said. It's not just one thing on the paper. LinkedIn has to be alive, right?
Yeah.
So it need to be
a living platform.
Right, you constantly need to be updating it. You need to be notifying your network, and you need to use the posts if you want to sort of broadcast something about you. Look at my profile. You can easily find me, and you have to connect with me. You will see what I would typically post. Anything from, you know, happy Thanksgiving from UMI, or happy 4th of July from UMI, to, here's our grad, he's about to receive his credentials. We are now accepting job offers, everything from that, or pinning ceremony pictures. So use it. This is not something that you set up 2 years ago and then forget about it, because then it will not work. It's not going to do anything for you. You need to live in LinkedIn. This is the place where you connect with people, especially now. Nobody sees each other in person anymore. This is where everybody is connecting right now, right?
Absolutely.
So it will be your success in many ways, in terms of job search, and how effective it is will depend on how much effort and time you are willing to put, and attention you are willing to give to your LinkedIn profile. Keep in mind the way that I use LinkedIn sometimes. Some of our graduates, sometimes they will tell me, okay, I applied for this job. I submitted an application. Unless it's a huge company that you cannot really find anybody. If it's small clinic, or if it's a sort of remote hospital, I say, okay, let me look up my network and see if I have anybody who works at that hospital. So maybe I can simply directly link them with your LinkedIn profile, and then you will be able to talk to them. That's what I do now. Remember, I have 10,000 people. Most of them, I have no idea. I've never met them. I probably never talk to them, majority of them, because sometimes I just collect those connections. But when it comes to this point, when I'm looking specifically for a person from this company, the first thing that I look for, do I have any first degree connections there?
Absolutely.
And it will give it to me. It will give me the list of my first degree connections. I go through the list and I say, okay, this person is in HR, or this person is the director of imaging. I'm going to connect Joanna. I'm going to drop this person, link to Joanna's LinkedIn profile. That's what I will do for you. But most of this job, that you need to have that profile, you need to have that live profile, and you need to talk to me. You need to tell me, this is what I've done. Do you have anybody in your network from this company, and I will do it for you.
Is everybody excited about building their LinkedIn profile? Everybody's excited, right? Good, good. Did y'all find this helpful?
Yes, this is really helpful.
I really, really, really enjoy meeting all of you because this is exciting. I love talking about these things like that, especially because I know the use and the benefit from LinkedIn. Any other questions, guys, before we sign off?
Carl?
Yes.
Thank you very much. I just wanted to thank you for presenting this topic. You are wonderful as always.
Thank
and
you.
I hope that we will see you again with
You
some
will see me again. I look forward to the next topic. I'm coming up with other topics for you guys. So.
Absolutely. And guys, please send me an email and I will also ask other people. Tell me if there are any specific topics that you would like to hear, anything that you are particularly interested related to career development, career job search, and all of that. And we will bring it up. I think Isabel has a question.
Yes, Isabel.
In regards to this profession, what about if one, after getting some experience in the field, wants to move, per se, around the country, like move to different states, and of course, wanting to practice this profession?
The ARDMS, that's a national certification, am I correct? So you will be able to take that certification if you are interested in moving. Say, for example, you get the experience and you're working for a hospital group. First thing you want to do is find that the hospital group is a national hospital group, or they have a sister hospital that you can work with, or a sister clinic. The thing is, once you're working, it's all about communication. You want to communicate. For example, when I was working at Florida Career College, had I had the need or want to work in California, I had companies and schools that were there. It's all about communicating my drive to work in another location. So the good thing is, it's not like you have a law degree. The law degree is if you pass the Florida bar, that doesn't mean you can be a lawyer in Atlanta. You got to take another bar. The ARDMS is a national certification. So once you're working and you have the experience and you have the license behind you, it's all about utilizing the network and now increasing your network from a state level to a national level.
The excellent point. And Isabel, even before you get your credentialing, you always want to connect with people. You can always look for jobs without limitations on the state. You control what you want to see. If you want to see jobs only in California, you can filter it. If you want to see jobs in California and Nevada and elsewhere, or specific other state, you can control that. People you connect with. If you don't limit yourself to only California. If you think that maybe later on you may be moving to Texas, well, include people or look for people in Texas. Look for jobs in Texas. Look for sort of connections in Texas. LinkedIn is a worldwide platform. You want to move to Australia, you will find thousands and thousands of people.
That was my next question. What about globally? Like, for example, if you wanted to go to Spain or Mexico,
listen, if that isn't even a thought, start networking now before you are graduating and actually looking. Start now. Because I will tell you, the best time to look for a job is when you're in school or already working.
Or any connections. Yeah, or any connections. Isabel, as I said, visit LinkedIn. Just check it out first. You will see it's a huge global platform.
Join those global groups. I'm sure you find a group where there are sonographers in Spain.
Yeah, and you will, in my connections, out of all my contacts, probably 30-40% of them are international, anywhere from Russia to Saudi Arabia. For some reason, a lot of sonographers and doctors are connecting with me from the Middle East, people in Australia. I mean, I have family in Australia, Israel, all over the place. It's limitless. You are the only one who controls what you want to see, what you want to look for, what you want to search for.
Absolutely.
Very interesting.
Okay.
Very satisfying answers.
Good. That your network is only as limiting as you want it to be. So open your network to all the subjects you want.
So guys, thank you very much for stopping
Happy
by.
Halloween, and I look forward to seeing you guys again. Send Ina your topics, and I look forward to building the presentation for you.
Yes. Thank you very much, Carl.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
You're welcome. You're welcome,
Bye.
guys. You're welcome.